interested in.
So
They want to see this state succeed.
That composite, actually, talk a little bit about it. I mean, in that poll that you've mentioned, you talk about, you cast the other, you cast your GOP opponents in a very negative light. I mean, you talk about, you know, a lobbyist, for example, that would be Rick Laws. You talk about a Democrat turned Republican.
That would be the truth.
That would be,
that would
sure,
be the,
sure. I'm not saying that these things aren't
He's still
true.
a Democrat.
Right, he's still a Democrat, technically.
Right.
So
well, he's still a Democrat in policy statements, too.
Who, Steve Levy?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're talking taxes, stimulus, Obamacare, bailouts. I'm not for those things. That's why I couldn't work for him.
Okay, so...
I mean, that's the thing about, and I have to make this point, that's, you know, between Obama and Cuomo and Levy, I mean, they'll say anything, but they govern from the hard left with a hard social agenda, and I'm not for that.
So what are you for, then?
You know, I'm glad you asked. You know, I printed this out today. This is Andrew Cuomo's plan. It's 250 pages.
Right, it's quite detailed.
Right. This, yeah, but the issue is, it's typical Democrat, right? It's no transparency. It's not focused. It's not clear. It obfuscates the truth.
Huh?
Right?
How
My
so?
plan
Because it's quite detailed. Actually, calls for all sorts of things in there: campaign finance reform, a property tax cap, freezing state public employees' pay, charter school, lifting the charter school cap. I mean, these are actually things that are quite unpopular with the left.
And never been done before.
Right, never been done before.
And never been done before by him. You know, I really think, at the very least, Andrew Cuomo owes the state an apology. You know, what he said in this report, I think, is very telling. And his introductory quote was, quote, "Sadly, our state government has failed us." And, you know, he's right. State government has failed us. But, Liz, he is the state government. He's served with the Spitzer, Patterson, Cuomo, Hevesi administration. He's been there. And because he made the choice, you know, over the past 2 years to not respond to these challenges, as to excuse himself from this, that was a choice he made, and he should be held responsible for it. So, Liz, I want to make the point that I think he should take his own advice, and the best thing he could do now would be to resign his position.
Resign as state attorney general?
He should, yes. He said that state governments failed us. I think he should step down and avoid the Christmas rush.
Okay, but because you bring up his plan and you say that he has never done the things, and it's true, no one has done much of what is proposed.
I mean,
hold on.
He's in government now.
But you haven't done anything either. You say yourself you're brand new to politics. So
Correct.
What is it that you're proposing to do, and how are you going to get that done as a complete outsider and an unknown?
That's exactly how I'm going to do it.
How?
I have the experience. I'm going to tell you. I have the experience for the execution, Liz. This is a business execution, right? His plan is 250 pages. I can summarize my plan in 6 words.
Okay.
Cut spending, lower taxes, and create jobs.
Well, that's very broad.
That's it.
How are you going to do those things? Those are broad brushstrokes. I mean, what specifically are you going to do? Cut
Those
spending
are the priorities.
Where are you going to cut spending? Education? Healthcare? How are you going to create jobs?
Education,
Incentivize?
Medicaid, agencies, labor, and asset sales. Those are the 5 buckets. At some level, Liz, it's not that complicated. And by the Democrats making it seem like it's an impossible task, it's something they'll never accomplish. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We are in a dire situation, and this man abandoned us. He ran from his responsibility. When Rome was burning, he ran away.
Well,
and he should be held accountable for that.
As State Attorney General, what was it that he should have been doing? I thought that the State Attorney General's responsibility was actually to be the top attorney of the state. I mean, he's not the governor at this moment. He hopes to be the governor, but he's not the governor. He's not.
Has he ever said a word on the Ravage plan? Did he ever talk about what could be corrected within state government? Did he ever, did he ever even push Eliot Spitzer to lose his law license? I mean, the entire administration has been marked by corruption, disgrace, and failure. I mean, he has never said a word to correct it. And now he wraps himself in a mantle of reform? This man is not trustworthy. Why do you believe him?
I'm not.
He hasn't done anything to help us over the past 2 years.
I think he's put out his plan now. It will remain up to the voters, I'm sure, to determine whether or not this plan is something that they're willing to buy. And it's also going to remain up to the Republicans when they gather in Manhattan on June 1st to determine if you're going to be getting on the ballot. And you certainly made it extra interesting, even more interesting than it already was. I really want to thank you for coming on. We'll be looking to hear more from you soon, Myers Mermel. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate your time.